Hey guys, how's everyone doing? This is Sir Jedi Sentinel, and welcome back to Batman Be Vlogged, the weekly vlog series where I review an episode of Batman Beyond after watching it for the very first time. Today we are looking at episode 45, Speak No Evil, written by Stan Berkowitz and directed by Dan Reba. As always, because I do these unscripted, there is a blanket spoiler warning in place in the off chance I decide to talk about spoilers. If you do not wish to be spoiled, this is your one warning to pause the episode, to pause the video, go watch the episode in question, and then come back and resume viewing. I imagine this is going to be a short video because I don't really have a lot to say. Speak No Evil is a very mid episode, if I'm being honest. It's got some interesting ideas. It's got a decent premise. Well, decent, we'll talk about it. But there's just nothing to it, really. Like, if I had to try and summarize this episode, it's an overly ham-fisted, very in-your-face 90s PSA. It's not to the degree of very special episode, where they would essentially pause the show to release this episode and make sure it was a big deal because it was going to preach some moral to you. It's not to that degree, but it is very high up here. So, what are we talking about in this episode? Poaching. So the premise of this episode involves an escaped gorilla from Gotham University who has suddenly broken loose and gone on a rampage. It is very quickly revealed that this gorilla was subjected to splicing experiments. If you remember, splicing is the procedure that people go through. My dog just came in the room. And he's sneezing. You good? Okay. Anyway, splicing is the procedure that the people of Gotham go through to augment themselves with animal DNA. If memory serves, Splicers was the first episode of the second season. And it's kind of cool because it wasn't just a one-off. Splicing has never really gone away. It's never been relevant to the degree it was in Splicers. It's been more of a background element, but it's always been there. And in this episode, this gorilla at Gotham University, named Fingers by one of the scientist's kids, has been spliced with human DNA. So slowly, over the course of this episode, Fingers, the gorilla, is growing more and more intelligent. Eventually, to one point, by about maybe the midway point of the episode, he develops human speech. And he's voiced by Malachi Throne. I think I'm saying that right. Who has a bit of Batman pedigree to him already. In fact, he was in the Adam West show. He was the villain Falseface in the serial True or Falseface Holy Rat Race. And if you watch that episode, you'll notice that up until the end credits of the second part, he goes uncredited. Apparently, Malachi Throne was so mad he had to wear a mask and obscure his identity. He asked to remain uncredited until the end of the serial. And then, I'm not going to go grab it because that would mean I'd have to edit and cut it. In the Batman 66 comics, a continuation of the Adam West show, it was revealed that in the Adam West universe, Falseface eventually became Clayface. But that's a bit of a tangent. I'm just saying, Malachi Throne has some Batman pedigree. He was in the Adam West show playing a villain, and he is the voice of Fingers in this episode, and he is the best thing about it. Fingers is a really good character for this kind of basic poaching bad premise. I don't mean to talk it down like that. Yes, poaching is absolutely abhorrent, but it's really basic in how ham-fisted and unsubtle the messaging is. The animation on Fingers is also really well done. Again, after the slight step down that we had in Out of the Past last week, the animation in this episode is once again up to its really good standard for season 3. Just, again, the oversimplification just makes the movement really work and really beautiful. So anyway, as Terry confronts Fingers, he kind of learns what Fingers is doing. He is going after someone named James Van Dyne. There we go. A man who presents himself as the owner of a nature preserve for misplaced wild animals who can no longer return to the wild. But of course, he has an eye patch. A cyborg eye, but for all intents and purposes, it's an eye patch. So of course he's evil, and he is our main poacher. So Batman, Terry, and Fingers have to team up to expose Van Dyne for his crimes, his poaching crimes, and rescue the animals, and so on. Again, not a lot to say to this episode. It's just fine. It is very ham-fisted in how it's presenting its message. Malachi Throne gives the best performance of the episode. We get another big appearance from Barbara Gordon here, and I'm sorry, maybe as we go on, I think she has one more appearance in season 3, and then of course Return of the Joker, but I do not like Angie Harmon as Barbara Gordon. I just don't think she's nailing how old and experienced Barbara is. I still miss Stockard Channing at this point. No offense to Angie Harmon. I have seen her in other things. She is a great actress, but just given how old she was in the 90s, if they had to recast from Stockard Channing, I don't know why it was Angie Harmon. Again, no disrespect to her, great actress. I just don't get it. But like I said, there isn't really a lot to Speak No Evil. I had to literally look at my notes to remember the name of the episode. But those are just my thoughts. Have you watched Speak No Evil? What are yours? Please start a conversation in the comments below. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, click the bell to get notifications. Click the bell next to subscribe to get notifications when I upload. Share the video around. All of it helps my channel grow. In the description box below, you'll find a link to my socials where you can follow me and get updates on the channel. This is Sir Jedi Sentinel, and I'll see you guys next time.